Instead, we will see a Rakan getting picked up. Are they going to pick up the Saya? That means that Galio is going to go over to LAKAN.
Saya Khan is very strong right now. With the recent buff on Rakan and also the new items, Saya can just spam out these feathers and recall it fast. And to counter that act, you have LAKAN Esports picking up the Corki. These two champions are heavily buffed up with the new recent updated items that brought in the patch 2.4, with Galio not being locked in by LAKAN Esports. A lot of diving composition here, a lot of diving champions right now for LAKAN Esports.
Yeah, I can imagine this is going to be very heavily dive-centric. And for FENNEL, at least the Xayah has some sort of self-peel with the Featherstorm. But with that, Lee Sin gonna be activated for Doming, and we can imagine how the early game is gonna work. They're gonna be looking for early game kills. Level 3 is such a strong spike for actually pretty much everybody. Apprehend Danny as well. And we talked about the Olaf. Olaf, without the Galio, with the Gragas on your side, Olaf will be basically free for you to take.
Now they locked in onto Jarvan 4 as well. It really removes the amount that FENNEL University can counter the Olaf. So LAKAN Esports, with their current composition, is looking very greatly. But the question here is, how can Olaf perform in this specific game? Because of you don't have sustainability in the form of Sona and the Seraphine. So let's see in how Olaf will play this out. And FENNEL University locking onto Ari once that poking CC onto Charms in the mid-game late game team fights.
Yeah, this is a pretty much all-in composition from LAKAN and as well as FENNEL Adversity. And we can imagine how Doming and Shaw will sort of tag team at the early game. Again, level 3 is very, very important to the Rift Scoutler fights. And I feel like when it comes to who can lead this 2v2 basically in the mid and jungle between LAKAN and FENNEL, I feel like when FENNEL lands the charm, they win. For LAKAN, the range coming from the Ahri, I feel like, is a really huge thing with the Orb of Deception and everything else. I'm curious if Shaw is gonna bring an Ignite or a Barrier this time.
Though here's the thing, we talked about Charm being connected by Shaw on Ahri. We talked about yesterday that himself playing on the Ahri as well as like magnets connecting onto the enemy champions using the Charm. So I think it's really unattainable right now for FENNEL University to miss those shots.
Let's see if day 1 Shaw will show up in day number 2 on this Ahri. And now it is going to be the usual, because Tante isn't going to have a fun time at topside with as an Olaf here. He's just going to try and soak down a little bit of that experience. It's a 2 birds in 1 stone kind of thing. You get experience, move to topside, and then Dedenne has lane priority early.
Yeah, and that actually gives you also extra XP. So if you want to match it up against a Saya, because FENNEL University, a similar pattern as we saw on day number 1, lane swapped in top side of the map, having the double lane instead of the dragon lane here on the Baron lane. So I think having Tante go for the mid side first, then go top, is really important coming into this game number 1.
Yeah, we saw Tante port back. I'm not sure. Maybe he bought something. Maybe he swapped it something else. He has a sword already on his hand, but this could be a dive.
Rakan, Grand Entrance, goes for the lockup. It's going to be the 3-man rope. FENNEL University taking the first blood in the game.
I said level throw too.
But Dedenne, flash in, body slam, gets a trade in off for LAKAN Esports. A good response coming in from their team as well.
That is the sad part about being an Olaf top. There's really nothing you can do. You don't have Ragnarok. You're still far away ahead from that level to just try and run away. And then it's a 3-man dive. It's a bully.
But LAKAN is looking onto the bottom lane. That's going to be the flash in from Darius, but he will no longer survive as another kill will go to the side of LAKAN Esports.
What?
Here on top. Another fight is going to occur. FENNEL University is not stopping. They want to trade this off. Lee Sin is going to flash away. That's going to be the kick in. 2 for 2 in the first 2 minutes into the game.
What is happening? I just gotta say, poor top laners, poor Baron laners in this game. Power, again, will perish because Ison and Arjuk is on this Galio. So I don't think they're gonna stop. I think Doming's gonna be stuck at topside just to bully out Tante in this lane.
Oh, Tante's got a face check. That's going to be Grand Entrance not connecting. What a wasted opportunity. But FENNEL University still happy to early aggression in this early game. And I love how you talked about the Baron lane being affected. And this is the reason why the lane swap is such an effective playstyle and strategy coming in if you don't want the enemy Baron lane to really scale out into the game.
Yeah, Darius can potentially snowball, and Olaf can potentially snowball. So they're shutting them down. It's a two birds in one stone kind of thing. You're also giving early game gold and plates to your AD carries like Danny and Ison. And so far, who has been winning? Biggest question, FENNEL, just a tad gold lead.
Cataclysm for Boy J against Power. Power went in for the Decimate to really just sustain himself much longer, but he cannot do so against 4-man Roam for LAKAN Esports.
This is a mirror. I think we're seeing a little bit of a mirror of playstyle, and it's only because of their composition. A Jarvan, Galio is so good at tower dives. A Rakan and Lee Sin is the same thing as well, and that is the reason why we're seeing such huge aggression from both teams. It's just a little bit of a gold lead from FENNEL Adversity, but let's check out the items for now. And nice body slam coming from Dedenne, but, you know, Power was just there nearby.
Yeah, and Essence River, you talked about items. Corki already built his first core. And Essence River is a very strong item when it comes to the early game. And traditionally, Corki builds onto the Mana Mooney and the Trinity Force. But because of the crit damage that the Essence River provides for this champion, I think Ison can utilize this very well. And looking at FENNEL Adversity, BRK already for Danny.
Yeah, this is not the usual stack for Manamune, wait for basically to Muramana. This is different. At least you're able to utilize the Essence Reaver right away. And it's so different as well because it synergizes with more items coming in from the new items coming from 2.4. It's not like the Triforce Infinity Edge that we usually see if a Corki wants to be relevant right away. But now, Infernal Drake, that means teams wants to contest this. If they do want to contest this, whoever wins may get double objectives off the map. But looking at the situation now, Power already settling for this Scuttler at top side at least. Oh wait, no. He didn't. He wanted to go Infernal Drake first.
Yeah, it's not going to be a free dragon here because FENNEL University is looking to go for the contest. Cataclysm now comes in. That's going to be a 2-man lockdown, but FENNEL University went in for the Feather Storm onto the Danny, and he is still going to be safe. It's now going to be the 5v4 in favor of LAKAN Esports. The body sound will take in 2. That's going to be LAKAN Esports now taking the lead, but now it's 3v2. It's gonna be the Lee Sin falling down as LAKAN Esports will take the lead. One more kill advantage against FENNEL University.
I swear, it's a mirror. Triple kill for Shaw, triple kill for Ison. And now this is the biggest difference, I suppose. For Ison and the Corki, Corki is definitely much easier to be relevant in the fights. For an Ashe, or rather an Ahri,
Arjuk went in for the taunt onto 1, but here comes FENNEL Adversity into the fray. That's gonna be one more kill for their team as well. But Corki jumps in, Valkyrie in, but the charm from Shaw will connect another magnet. Then FENNEL Adversity will take the lead 3v3 for now, as Saya will just go for some free hits onto the backside. Tante will flash away over the hills as FENNEL Adversity is too much to deal with.
Another fight, and no one even gets the Infernal. That was basically take 2. And their mission was to get the Infernal. And now teams, makes me wonder if they're going to be just satisfied exchanging Rift Herald to get the game going, or they're going to, again, because Infernal is the best dragon in the game at the moment. Amplifies your damage. And now, it's all about, just as I was talking about it, Shaw, a lot of pressure is on him. He got triple killed, all the charms has to count.
But the face check is not going to be something that you want to do. The charm will connect though. That's going to be the follow-up. But the quickness and the Grand Entrance goes for the 2-man knockup. The quickness in followed up with the Gragas going for the explosive cast will disengage FENNEL Adversity as now 2-man down for FENNEL as well. 3-man down for LAKAN Esports. But LAKAN will take the Infernal Dragon in the end. And that is a huge advantage coming for this team.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge. Ison is going to hurt even more. Whatever Arjuk's combo could hurt to some extent, especially Tante as well, actually. Already having that Black Cleaver on the board. So FENNEL will be satisfied getting the second best objective versus the Infernal Drake, which is this Rift Herald.
if they could get it. Because right now, Boy J looks to go for the contest, and they have stolen the Rift Herald. LAKAN Esports will take 2 objectives in the early game, and now they're looking at a lead against FENNEL Varsity.
He stole it with the spear. He didn't have smite. He just stole it, casually walked in, and then speared it to the face. I cannot believe how casual that steal was.
Grand entrance though, now onto the Gragas, just goes for the body slam away, and yes, just goes for the flag, got the steal in. I think FENNEL Varsity wasn't really expecting that.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, when it comes to CC, you've got Sho with the charm, Rafi with as well as the knockup, and as well as the kick coming from Doming. So I guess they were just fully focused on the Rift Herald and didn't see Boy J coming, or didn't expect that steal to come through. But now looking at the scoreboard, it's not mirror anymore. It is LAKAN with both of the objectives for them, and they can open up the map, even get the first blood tower.
Right, because right now, they're looking to go for the top lane. They got the tier 1 turret, but FENNEL Varsity wants to go for the trade here onto kills instead. That's going to be kicked from Shaw, coming in with a proto belt, getting the kill. Boy J with a flag and drag goes back to retreat into safety. That's going to be the flash from Ison as well, but kick from Lee Sin with a Sonic Wave will secure the kill. It's now Detonate looking to go back away from the riverbed, as you have Tante to go for the response as well, but power goes in. FENNEL Varsity is a 3-man roam right now, 2-man advantage coming in. That's gonna be the triple kill for their team.
What a game we're looking at. It's so incredibly close. Just 200 gold difference between these two teams. And now they're able to sort of punish LAKAN for their overstay, I suppose, as again, their chasing capability is just so much on the side of FENNEL Adversity. And now LAKAN, they need to have a little bit of breathing room for Ison to deal the pokes, to deal the damage. Now, looking at the items, it's going to be Essence Reaver with the Triforce. We'll see what the third item is going to be. But look at his first buy. It is going to be a QSS enchant, QSS for now. And that means the charm may be cancelled.
And that, let's see, Archer comes in with a 2-man taunt. The rest of the members are coming in right through. Boy J will just walk away because FENNEL Varsity just right around the corner. Sonic Wave will come through, no follow-up. He will go back away. FENNEL Varsity doesn't want to go for an aggressive push in this early game, considering LAKAN Esports still has the advantage currently.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. They do have that advantage, especially on tower takes. So far, it is only that one tower on the, that FENNEL Adversity was able to push, which was on top side. So they have to be careful. Slowly, though, Tante has been whittling down the top lane from time to time. So he is on split push duty. And the thing is, even though he's not there to kill you in a 1v1 scenario, he can just press Ragnarok and run away and be satisfied with that.
Right, and I think Tante had the information. You know what, FENNEL Varsity 4-man roam with the bot-sided map. Probably, let's go top lane, try to split push, even though if someone goes for the response, the rest of the members of FENNEL Varsity doesn't really have that opportunity to make it back to go for the 2v1 situation. So Tante split pushing freely, doesn't have any risk at that. But right now, I think FENNEL Varsity coming to bot-sided map, considering the next dragon is going to be up. Mountain Dragon is available for them if they want to take it. Tante will be the sort of site FENNEL Varsity wants to go for, while the rest of the team is fighting onto the riverbed. Shaw will try to go for the ultimate back away. He's not going to do so because the damage is just too much. Gaia with the ultimate coming in. Zones out FENNEL Varsity. That's going to be the flag and drag with flash in. That's going to be too much to handle FENNEL Varsity right now. Root is coming through from Danny, and that's going to be pretty massive, but is it massive enough to put this down? Danny will be walking away. The root will be there, but the damage is lacking, and LAKAN Esports will get the 4 kills from that fight.
What a fight coming from LAKAN. They're so incredibly confident. They pressed the go button. The point where they were able to pick up Shaw from everyone means that it was the go signal that they needed to just pile on to FENNEL. Shaw is the most fed member of the team. So basically, after he's gone, then that means LAKAN will definitely win the fight. And with that said, I just gotta compliment Tante's trigger discipline on the Ragnarok. Remember, there were 3 people down at bot. He was rooted as well, so he trusted his tankiness to just withstand all the damage coming through and did not press Ragnarok. He wanted to keep that Ragnarok on for the incoming fight that we just saw earlier.
Right, and on top of all that, I want to put a quick point on FENNEL University's power. Power is not building onto damage, but instead building onto tank. He built onto a Randuin's Omen plus an armor item, which is unfamiliar into a Darius Baron lane, because traditionally it states you want damage to sustain yourself with those lifesteals. So I think that's an interesting point that FENNEL University is taking in.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna try and survive as much as he can. Just try to bother the front line.
But Shaw will actually connect onto Charm against this one champion. Boy J is trying to go in, but Lee Sin is on enemy territory. LAKAN Esports will punish that. As now it's Arjo tries to go for the taunt, but the Featherstorm will be there, so he's actually quite alive. Quickness will come through. That's gonna be the Grand Entrance, not connecting onto anyone, but that will be the Guillotine connecting, killing off one. LAKAN Esports is now fighting against 3v2 FENNEL University. Shaw the only one arrived in this fight. That's gonna be a flash out.
Yeah, it's too late because it's a 1v3 situation. The rest of your front line is gone. That was an almost burn towards Ison. I believe it was the Leandris that almost killed him, but the DOTs are not going to be enough. Look at Ison, though. He has the Charge Blade already. Locked and loaded. So many crits already. What? 75% from the Essence Reaver plus 25 stacks on the Radiance. So basically he has a lot of crits on the board. And that's why he has been hurting FENNEL Adversity a lot already in these fights. This is basically the setup.
Right. And after those 3 core items, he went for Mortius. Really respects the damage coming in from Shaw. Because Shaw is the only one who has the AP damage. So I think LAKAN Esports is adapting. This is what they were known for day number 1, and they're showing it once again in day 2.
It is incredibly scary. Look at Power!
But Power comes in. That's going to be Decimate. Tried to get the steal up, but now, no. LAKAN Esports will get the Baron Nashor. That's going to be the flash in from Ison. Trying to get the kill. He will get killed instead. FENNEL Adversity will get the trade-off, but still, this is a 2-for-1 in favor for LAKAN Esports. That's going to be the ultimate, zoning out the enemy team. FENNEL Adversity will go back away because Baron Nashor is still for the side of LAKAN Esports, and they still want to survive and defend it.
They want to keep the Baron buff. No need to be too aggressive, but they're already in the lead. What? This is already a 9k gold lead or a 7k gold lead in favor of LAKAN. And I love how this is a battle of survival. Will Ison survive the fight? Will Shaw survive the fight? And because they are the most fed members of the team, I think it's just one of those things, who dies first. And then that team will basically win. And with that said, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. You brought up that he had the Maw, so a little bit more on the resistances up against Shaw. And I think he is the scariest member at the moment. He's the only scariest one at the moment. Look at that, Morello acquired. And Boy just being a human ward, because there's 15 seconds on the clock for the Air Drake to spawn.
Yeah, the Cloud Dragon will give you a lot of mobility, and I think LAKAN Esports wants to take it home away for FENNEL Adversity, and it's just too much disengage. You have Jarvan 4, you have Detonate to have their ultimates sort of play defensively and actively offensively against FENNEL Adversity if ever a team fight occurs, and also put it so that it's sort of an engage ultimate if ever it so does happen against FENNEL Adversity. So I think it's really an ultimate game right now for LAKAN Esports.
There's so many important ults, like right now, Ragnarok
1v1, Doming will force to back away. That's gonna be tier 3 turret taken down, and the turret will fall. That's gonna be a flash baddie, so I'm not gonna connect. That's gonna be the explosive cast as well. Disengage FENNEL Adversity once again. You have Galio with the ultimate, zoning out the enemy team. FENNEL Adversity doesn't have a chance to put it down for LAKAN Esports to go for the defense.
Gotta hand it to Tante. He, killed Power? And on his way out, he killed the tower. So that is a 2-in-1 package for him at the top side.
Doming face checks. That's not a good move against LAKAN Esports, which is so fed right now. FENNEL Adversity with the quickness and the Grand Entrance to zone out away, try to go back. Danny will be left standing into the mid-sided map. That's going to be an extra kill for LAKAN Esports with Rafi and Power, the only one remaining to defend the Nexus base.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, that's 30 seconds on the clock for 3 other members, and it's going to be a 5-man push to the Nexus.
TPs are now coming in. That's going to be the Flash Body Slam for LAKAN Esports. They can kill FENNEL. Varsity will lose their 5 members, and LAKAN Esports will take game number 1 away from FENNEL.